Dear students, in our previous classes, we have learnt about commercial banks and their functions. Today's class, let us learn about Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India or RBI is also called Central Bank. With reference to the functions of RBI, we are going to learn in detail in economics. This is the very important question in the annual examination, which you can expect it for 5 marks. Let us proceed to RBI in detail. Reserve Bank of India. It was established on 1st April 1935. Initially, it was a joint stock company with a share capital of rupees 5 crores. But on 1st January 1949, RBI was nationalized by the Government of India. Since then, it started working as the Central Bank of India. Just like other countries, even in India, we have a central bank. In India, the central bank is also referred as RBI. The main reason behind the establishment of RBI is to supervise the entire banking structure in India and also look after the interest rates and survey the financial requirements. However, the reasons for establishing RBI have been listed as under 1. To supervise the activities of different banks. All the banks, let it be nationalized or private or even cooperative banks, are supposed to be under the guidelines laid down by the RBI. 2. To control the flow of credit in the economy. When I say flow of credit, depending upon the situation, if it is inflation, the government tries to control credit. If it is deflation, it tries to expand credit. Thereby, the economic system will be under the control of RBI. 3. To target the economic growth with price stability. Functions of RBI. Broadly speaking, Reserve Bank of India or Central Bank of India has two major functions. 1. General central banking functions. 2. Which we have not listed here, that is non-banking and non-traditional functions. Under central banking functions, we have many subheadings. Let us take point A, issue of currency notes. Just like any other central bank, the RBI has monopoly over the issue of currency notes. In India, RBI has monopoly over the issue of currency notes, and it issues currency notes in various denominations like rupees 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500 and 2000 rupees. However, under Reserve Bank of India Act of 1934, there is a provision for issuing currency notes according to the proportional reserve system. Now a question arises, what is this word proportional reserve system? Why in India central bank is called Reserve Bank of India? There's a direct link between proportional reserve and Reserve Bank. In fact, according to this system or proportional reserve system, if RBI issues 2000 rupees notes into 100, that is 2 lakh rupees notes if it issues altogether. The value equal to 2 lakh rupees, the government, on behalf of the government, RBI is supposed to reserve gold or foreign securities in proportion or equal to the value of issued notes. Or to be more precise, observe this statement. According to this, a reserve of gold, foreign securities in proportion to the value of issued currency notes were to be maintained. Due to the lack of supply of gold as the days passed due to increasing demand for gold, in fact, we could not have a pace with growing demand for the notes. As a result, the government slightly modified this, and in the year 1956, RBI, instead of having proportional reserve system, it introduced fixed minimum reserve ratio system. However, this new system introduced in 1956 clearly states that instead of having proportional reserve or equal to the value of issued currency notes, it states that RBI should have minimum gold worth of 115 crores and foreign exchange worth of 85 crores. The second important function of RBI in the first main is banker to the government. RBI acts as a banker, agent, and advisor to the government. Just we, the individuals, whenever we have money, we deposit in the bank and withdraw according to our requirement. Similar way, government opens an account with RBI and deposits surplus funds and withdraws according to its requirement. Even RBI acts as an agent of the government and advises the government on different financial issues. All funds of central and state governments are kept with RBI because both central and state governments, they get from time to time different tax revenue and non-tax revenue sources. Those revenue sources are deposited with RBI on the name of government accounts. It manages public debt. Whenever we write this term DEBT, to be kept in mind, it should be pronounced as public debt, which means loans borrowed by the government. In fact, RBI, since it's an agent of the government, it manages public debt of the government, and for that purpose, as early as 1st October 1992, the government established IDMC, that is Internal Debt Management Cell. I repeat, Internal Debt Management Cell was established or constituted as an independent unit of RBI with effect from 1st October 1992. It advances short-term loans, that is, RBI gives short-term loans to the government for about the repayment period of 3 months or 90 days. RBI acts as an advisor to the government on all the policies related to banking and other financial matters. In fact, the central government or even the state governments also annually when they introduce budgets, these budgets will be very ambitious. Various financial packages will be introduced. These financial packages, are they viable? How to finance them? On all such issues, RBI advises the government, and it advises on resource mobilization and financial plans.